kind of club is this? What the fuck's on the speakers? I mean, am I in a 1980s sci-fi B movie? No, I'm just asking. All right, guys. So, slightly early will be at 1 p.m. from here on out. I sort of mentioned that before, but oh wait, forgot. Got labs done today. Gotta take this shite off. Have I hematologist appointment tonight? Or my hematologist appointment this morning. DVT free officially. Did have a bit of a scare because they take your vitals and they were like we can do your blood pressure over the sweatshirt. I was like, that's cool. They did my blood pressure and they're like, your blood pressure is 170 over 120. Like, this is catastrophic. I'm like, what the fuck? And then they're like, are you nervous or something? And I was like, well, now I'm pretty nervous. Yeah. And then they're like, all right, let's do it on your wrist instead. And then it was fine. I guess it was still a little bit too high, but then at that point I was actually legitimately nervous. Like at that point, my heart rate was bumping. So I was like, am I gonna have to get checked into the ER or something? What's going on? Paul at the $5. The news isn't good, Mr. Bias. It seems your NBA team is poisoning you with horrible play and criminal mismanagement. Don't you know it? Don't you fucking know it? Classic Stang Lover with the 199. First game since 24-25 opener just to tell fire Nico. Oh, nice. Nice. I respect that. I really do. Sounds like going with the sweater was a dumb move on their part. Yeah. Yeah, I was just like, the funniest was them being like, are you nervous? I'm like, well, now I am very nervous. Yes. I always do though. I always do get nervous right before I get my vitals taken. No clue why. No clue why. All right, let's get into it. This can't be a super long stream today. We are gonna get to the point, and it's probably gonna come in December or first week of December, where slightly early will be every day. I promise you guys that is coming. The thing is though, if we do that, they're gonna be an hour long, not 2 hours long probably, which is what they originally were, right? Which is what they originally were. What is all of these tweets what is all of this shit people are tweeting me? Why are people responding to this tweet? What is this tweet? We're reading this on air for the first time. Reading this on air for the first time. Hey, Nick Van Exit, Isaac Harris, bias slightly. This is disgraceful shock value content. Instead of piling on Nico for injuries, maybe consider he wanted us tanking for a top 3 pick. Focus on games, coaching, etc. Instead, you tag Nico, who gave us best team since 2011. I'm not even on this show. This guy's trolling, right? This is a clear troll. I think I've interacted with this dude before. His name sounds very familiar. I think he's followed for a long time. It's a pretty good one. It's a pretty good one. That's a pretty good one. I give that one about a 7.3 out of 10. Could be a little bit better. Retina agreeing. Oh God. Do I dare click on this profile? Mavs fan club, Nico Harrison fan, FDT. Peptide enthusiast, communist, far leftist. Do you want to know something funny? Someone did text me. Someone texted me a someone texted me, and I'm not going to say who, but someone texted me a screenshot of Retina's profile and said, check out this combo I found today. And it was Retina's profile. Hilarious. All right. We have a new daily game I like playing. And I play this by myself. It's called What's the Line .bet. It's like guessing NBA lines and like what the spread's going to be. So let's see how I did yesterday. I lost $700. Now I don't know what this means, the $700 loss. I mean, I didn't bet anything. But you just predict what the odds for each game is going to be. Like what the spread each game is going to be. Let's see. I bet Houston by 4. Or my prediction was Milwaukee by 1.5. I was actually kind of surprised. I don't know why I thought Milwaukee was going to be favorites in that game. OKC 10.5. I got that one exactly right. See, like, how is this a loss, though? I don't understand this part. I would never have bet on the Grizzlies. All right, so let's do today's. Let's see if we can predict today's. Makes predictions. Let's go. Oh, no, I don't give a fuck about the NFL. Let's do it. Trailblazers at Orlando. Orlando played yesterday. Do we think Portland is a favorite in Orlando? Honestly, yeah, I do. Let's go 2.5. Portland by 2.5. Wizards, Pistons. Pistons played yesterday, but I'll go Pistons. I mean, the Wizards are so bad. Pistons 11.5. That sounds right to me. Lakers, Hornets. Lakers for sure. I don't think it gets to like the 10s. I think it's probably like 7.5 or some shit. Hornets have been bad, but they're not like horrible. Ooh, Cavs, Miami. That's a good game. That's a fun one. I'm gonna assume Cleveland's favorites, but it's probably not by a lot. Like I'd probably say 2.5 or 3.5 maybe on the road. Bulls, Spurs. That's a fun game too. Ooh. Who's favorites in Bulls, Spurs? Who is the favorite in this game? My gut's kind of telling me San Antonio. And I'm just going to go 2.5. I'm going to go small. But then that would mean... that feels disrespectful. Let's go Bulls 1.5. 1.5 point favorites at home. Mavericks, Bucks. Milwaukee did play a hard-fought game yesterday against Houston. I mean, there's no way, right? There's no way Dallas is favorites. Bucks. The question is how big? How disrespectful? Well, it's not even really disrespectful. How far have we fallen? That's a better question to ask. Four and a half. That sounds right to me. Timberwolves over the Jazz. We'll go 8.5. Pelicans, Suns. We'll go Phoenix 7.5. Hawks, Clippers. Jesus. Clippers 4.5. Let's see. How did we do? How did we do? Portland is favorites. Oh, wait, no. Orlando's favorites at home against Portland. Okay. I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one. Orlando played yesterday. Portland it looks better. Pistons are 11.5 point favorites. Nice. Lakers 8.5 point favorites. Cavs 7.5. Does that not feel high? Am I tripping? I feel like these teams have been kind of evenly. 7.5 on the road is kind of a lot. Wow, the Spurs are 4.5 point favorites in Chicago. What do you guys think about that? Milwaukee's only 2.5 point favorites against the Mavs. You guys want to make some free money tonight? There you go. There you have it. Minnesota 8 point favorites. Phoenix 8.5 point favorites. Clippers. I mean, I'm getting good at this. I'm a little bit surprised about the Spurs. Free of all fear at the 199, bro. Nico getting fired, please. I do think it's a matter of time. Do I miss you guys when I blink? Sometimes, yeah. I don't blink though. I'm just ready. Like, I don't blink because you never know what you're gonna miss. Be careful betting. 2 pitchers are in jail for it. Okay, so let's start here. Wait, real quick before we get into anything. Do you guys want to see Wordle or no? No? Okay. We love Wordle? Okay. Real quick. Get the fuck out of here. Okay. Okay. Tacoed. Talkie. Walkie talkie. Oh. Tabby cat. Boom, baby. Hell yeah. We get some cat love on a Monday. It's gonna be a great week, man. It's gonna be a fantastic week. Here we go. Conquered. I came. I saw. I conquered. I came. Triangle, square. Okay, triangle, drum. Triangle, drum. Bell. What's a sign? I don't know what that is. Damn it. Rattle instead of a sign. Okay, percussion instruments. Square. Pay, settle, clear, square. Boom. And I don't know what these are. Sub, side, pro, AB. Don't know. Latin prepositions. Okay. Well, quick and easy. Quick and easy. So I actually looked up the math on this, and I could be completely wrong. This betting scandal's what? This betting scandal right here is what, a year old? Emmanuel Clase, for those who don't know, one of the best closers in baseball. Aaron, 9 months to Slight Delusional Club. Over, under. Nico's here by the trade deadline. I would say under for sure. I think he's gone by then. So anyways, Emmanuel Clase released are involved in this gambling scandal where he was intentionally throwing balls. First pitch of every inning, you could bet. This is the type of shit they need to get rid of because it's way too easy to control. But you can bet on whether the first pitch of every inning will be a ball or strike. And he would go out there and purposefully throw a ball. So, his friends could make some money. And it was kind of egregious. It was shit like this. It's funny because this guy swung at this, but that's how bad they were. Right? Here you go. These pitches right here. First pitch. Horrible pitches, right? So he got investigated. He did all of this for $5,000. Now, I did the math on this, and I could be wrong. He was making $4 million a year on his contract. He was doing all this for $5,000. I did the math. This would be the equivalent of someone making $50,000 doing this for 12 cents. Again, my math could be off there. But think about that for a second. Think about that. Think about fucking your entire life up for that. What on earth are we doing? How stupid are we? And I'll just assume it was 5,000, 7,000 every time, so it starts to add up over time. But still, man. Now it's over. Gambling is an addiction. Yeah, but he wasn't even the one gambling, I don't think. So stupid. Yeah, they're not going to prison for 65 years. I hate whenever people include this. I hate whenever it's they do the maximum penalties. Nobody ever gets that shit, okay? Nobody's getting 65 years in prison for this. That's batshit insane. All right? Yeah, but nobody ever gets the maximum sentence unless it's heinous crimes. Does anybody actually want Emmanuel Clase to go to prison for 65 years? What are we doing at that point? As a criminal justice system, what are we doing if we're sending Emmanuel Clase to prison for 65 years? Is our street safer? Are we better off as a society if he's in prison for 65 years? No. No, we're not. No. All right, let's talk about some stuff. So some Mavericks related things. Yeah, why would Giannis not play? Some kind of insane Mavs related things. Gina Miller, who Work for FC Dallas. Is becoming the Mavs Chiefs communication officer. Congratulations to her. Now I did ask about this to from people who know things. I said, is this a precursor of anything coming? The answer is no. Not that there's not anything coming down the pipeline, but this has been in the works for a long time. This has been in the works for a bit. So no, like let's get her in here so we can do this. Like, no, that's not what it is. Now again, that's not to say that nothing's going to happen soon, but I'm of the belief that something is going to happen soon. I'm of the belief that Nico Harrison is going to get fired very soon. I don't have anything. It's $62 on a $50,000 salary. Okay, there you go. $62. I do think that it's happening. I'm just not sure when. Who would you pick to replace Nico if you were in Dumont's position? I mean, I don't know. I don't know who's available. Like, I have no clue. I don't know. I don't know the potential GMs. I have no clue. I'm told the challenge Mavericks governor Patrick Dumont faces in weighing Nico Harrison's status is a big picture question. If Dumont determines a change is inevitable, someone else should be making roster decisions ASAP. Yeah, I mean that's very true, and that's a very good point. I always wonder this about coaches, about GMs. We saw something happen like this with the Giants, who just fired their coach Brian Daboll earlier today. If you go into the season with any sort of like questions as to whether or not you should fire your coach, let's wait and see how it plays out a couple weeks in or whatever. You should just do it right then and there. You've already crossed that threshold. You've already passed the point of no return, in my opinion. Once you like start to weigh the possibility of firing somebody, well, let's just wait and see. Then you should have already ripped that Band-Aid off. Right? GM is so much different than coach, though. Because you can, if the season starts bad and we're already going down the wrong road, not going to be good anyway, let's put an interim in. And hey, maybe there's a guy on our staff that we like, that we think maybe could be a head coach. We can test drive it and see over the next few months if that's something we like. And if not, we can just go hire one. GM is so different because it's like, okay, let's say you fire Nico Harrison tomorrow. Any GM you bring in, any general manager you bring in is going to be faced with this possibility of trading Anthony Davis, maybe approaching Kyrie about whether or not he wants to be here long term. If you do go a more rebuild or retooling route, trading Klay Thompson, trading Daniel Gafford, potentially like trading all of these guys. So it is like in my opinion, if you even think it's a possibility that you want to trade Nico Harrison, you have to do it now. You can't linger on this and then, hey, maybe you win a couple games here and there. Okay, but then maybe there's a 4-game losing streak, in early January, and now it's like, all right, fuck this, we want to fire him. Well, now you're fucked because you're only a few weeks away from the trade deadline at that point. Jack, 16 months of the site, Delusional Club. So that's kind of where I'm at, where I do think this is a very difficult thing. Although, what do you do? Do you fire him and then just promote somebody from within to be the interim GM for a bit, and then you just do, hey, status quo. Look, we got rid of Nico. That bought us some time with the fans. Let's just ride this shit out until the summer, and then we can really adjust from there. In my opinion, you're waiting too long at that point. Jack with the 499. My prediction is that Nico is already fired and Dumont is just prepping the replacement. No, we would know. We would know. I mean, this right here is insane. Portable stairs are rolled in every game via the tunnel between both benches and adjacent to the new seat location that enable Harrison to exit at any point without having to walk through sections of the crowd. Like, this is insane, bro. This is insane. They are literally rolling portable stairs so he can exit at any given moment in case shit hits the fan. Like, what at this point, man, like when you see this, you have to just pull the plug. Let me read this to you again. Portable stairs are rolled in every game via the tunnel between both benches and adjacent to the new seat location that enable Harrison to exit at any point without having to walk through sections of the crowd. He's literally giving himself an emergency exit in case their ass is getting blasted, which happens all the time now. So he can just get the fuck out of Dodge without anybody having to say anything to him. This is pathetic. What are we doing? This, like, have we not seen that we have so far past the point of no return? If you are even weighing firing this guy, please, if this message somehow gets through to Mavs ownership or someone who's in charge or somebody who has a voice inside the organization, we have passed the point of no return, man. This thing, believe it or not, is salvageable, but you have to salvage it as soon as possible. If your general manager has to have portable stairs next to their seat so they can escape the fan base as soon as possible, you've lost. There's no coming back from that. That's fucking crazy. That's insane. So, do you think Nico gets a job in the NBA again? No. No chance. So if I were in a consulting role for this franchise, which, hey, I'm going to be real. I think I should be. And I'm going to be honest. I think I should be in a consulting role for this franchise in some way, shape, or form. Just a liaison for the fans. Because it's clear they don't have that. It's very clear. Cuban was kind of that. They phased Cuban out. They need a liaison. I'll volunteer. Okay? I'll volunteer. I'll help out. I'll be a consultant. I would say, if you're going to do this, and you should, if you're going to fire Nico Harrison, and again, you should do it now. All right? If you don't want to deliver the message to him, I will. You should fire him now, but you should also get rid of anybody associated in the Nico Harrison tree. I don't think you should just promote the second in command who's Nico Harrison's best friend. You got to get rid of all of them. Now, I'm not here behind the scenes. I don't know how it works. If there's people within the organization that you like that aren't kind of involved in the higher up decision making and are just kind of there scouting, whatever the case may be, okay. Isaac really killed all hopes with slightly biased media pass that last post-game lockdown. I don't give a fuck. I don't want a media pass. I, honest to God, really never did want one. And I'm being serious. And I'm just going to be honest now, because for sure I'm never getting one. But the only reason I wanted to get credentialed ever at any point, I was never going to go to the post-game pressers, was because you get to go to the games for free. And that was it. Okay. I'm just being truthful. I was never going to go to any post-game press conference. I really didn't care about doing interviews. I just wanted to be able to go to the games. Yeah, for sure. And all you have to do is a couple quick Twitter searches, and any potential press pass would be revoked right then and there. So I didn't get blacklisted from credentials. We did send them in, but the thing was it was just too late in the year. You kind of have to like work your way into it, from what I was told. Surely no one will call you a paid shill anymore. Nobody who has ever actually consumed any of my content would ever have said that. So I don't really care. So anyways, yes, if I was a consultant, that's what I would say. I would say, yeah. If you are going to do this, which I do think you should, we've this has started so poorly, and my God, the vibes are so bad, man. I don't know how you can continue like this. Do it and get rid of all of it. Burn the tree to the ground. All right, similar to what I did in Elden Ring as an Elden Lord. Burn the tree, bring somebody in to be Elden Lord. Which, hey, what a coincidence. I became Elden Lord. I became Elden Lord. So if I became GM right away, which again, you guys have seen it firsthand, I won 12 straight championships with the Dallas. I wasn't 12 straight, but I won 12 championships with the Mavericks. We were the most successful organization in the history of sports, right? What would I do immediately? You got to gauge the AD trade market. Now that doesn't necessarily mean I would for sure trade him, because I'm not trading him for shit, right? I'm not trading him for scraps. I'd rather just keep him at that point. But I would absolutely gauge the market, see what's out there. Probably wouldn't really materialize until around the trade deadline, when teams are desperate or teams feel like, all right, we got a chance here and we could go for AD. Obviously, you know, work with AD. I'm coming in here like this is already a fucked up situation. Let's not burn any bridges to the ground. Work with AD, work with Clutch. Just be like, hey, you got a contract coming up. Would love to get you somewhere that would pay you money. Right? Because I honestly don't think that we're going to do that here. Right? I honestly don't think we're going to be the ones. Then I would go to Kevin Durant, Jesus. Then I'll go to Kyrie Irving and I'd say, hey, we want you here. We signed you. We love you. You've been great for this team, great in the locker room. We would love for you to stay here. We're not going to trade you unless you want to. And if you want to, we will respect that. But only if you want to. Then Klay Thompson comes in and is like, yo, is the same for me? I'd be like, no, you're getting traded. And then I'm going to be real. Everybody, if Kyrie says, all right, yeah, let's kick the tires. You know, I kind of want to see maybe I can finish my career competing for a championship. I'd say, hey, I respect that. I respect that. I'd kick the tire on every single person on the team not named Cooper Flag. Every single person. So do you feel bad for Nico on a human level? I'm kind of struggling with it. It would suck if everyone hated me at my job and accosted me on the streets. Then again, I didn't trade Luka. On a human level, yeah. Yep. I would at least feel what the market is on everybody. I'm not saying I would trade everybody. But I would see what the market is. No, I would see what the market is on Max Christie, for sure. If someone out there wants to give up something of value for him, I would consider it. Not saying I would do it. Not saying I would trade people for scraps. Like I'm just saying I would see what the market is. I would see what the market is for PJ. Now, why would I do that? Because I think PJ is incredible. And I think PJ's market could be, PJ can't be traded during the season. But I think PJ's market would be incredible. Every team in the league should want PJ Washington. If you're a contending team, you should be calling about PJ Washington the moment summer starts next year. The moment summer starts. I'm making a phone call to the Dallas Mavericks about PJ Washington. Now, again, I'm not saying I would trade him. Like, I'm not just saying I would just do it. But at that point in time, you'd be a fucking idiot to not at least see what your options are. Same thing with Lively, unfortunately, man. I would love to keep him. Would love to keep him. But I mean, if someone out there is just like, yeah, we'll take the injury risk. We'll give up a bunch for him. All right. Coop's the only one. So that would be my stance. Now, to be fair, in the summer, my whole opinion was I don't see the point of tearing it down because I like the idea of Coop learning next to a guy like AD, a guy like Clay, a guy like Kyrie. On top of that, you don't have your picks after this year, so blowing it up and tanking, what's the point of doing that? They're so shit that's done. That's out the window. I didn't expect them to be this bad. I didn't expect it to be this bad. Blake with the 199. If you're hired as GM today, what's move number one? If I'm hired as GM today, what's move number one? Reach out to Bill Duffy and apologize. Reach out to Luka Doncic and apologize. Reach out to Dirk Nowitzki. Say, hey, what do we need to do to get you back hanging around this org? But asset-wise, I don't know. November trades usually suck, so I probably wouldn't make trades yet. I mean, I definitely, if I were to make a trade right now, Clay's probably the first guy. If you gutted the roster, you'd have the most absurd Arsenal picks. So the thing is, if I were the GM and I gutted the roster, this Mavs roster, one of the primary things I'd want to do, and we've seen teams do this and reclaim their picks, I want my 2027 first. Like if I'm fire sailing and I'm wheeling and dealing, I want to figure out a way, whether that's and the thing is the Hornets have your 2027 first. So it's not like they're a team that's like, yeah, we'll trade it for AD. That's not going to happen. So I'd have to figure out a way to maybe flip some picks I'm getting in to Charlotte to get that pick back, or figure out, does Charlotte love somebody on this roster? Whatever the case may be. Give me 2 years of my picks. 2 years. Right. If I can get lucky in the lottery again this year, even if I don't get lucky, this draft just seems loaded. But if I can get a high pick, yeah, Presti's gonna have a hard time giving up that 28 first swap. Give me the 27 pick. That gives me my 25 first, which we used to get Cooper Flag, obviously. 26 first, which in this world we're going to be bad. So 26 first allows me to maybe have a top 7 pick. And then my 27 pick, which could be good as well. That should, in theory, just for my picks alone, give me 3 very valuable young guys. And then along the way, I'm accumulating picks and whatnot for other trades, and maybe I can flesh out the rest of my roster that way. Hornets is top 2 protected, so you can trade to raise the protections at least. Can you do that? Can you alter protections on a pick? I know you can like remove protections on a pick. IYHHO. And guys, that means in your honest, humble opinion, is there a way Davis and Lively come back and this team looks at least decent? Yeah, for sure. Definitely, I think. I really do think watching this team, I'm like, like Kyrie coming back could actually turn this into a solid team. What does solid look like? I don't know. But that's the problem is at that point, is it like, what point is it like, Kyrie, dude, why even come back? You've got your money. We've paid you. Like, let's take our time here. What's crazy is somebody said this, even if you won 8 straight games, you'd be 11-7, which is good. It's good. It's not great. I mean, here's my thing always. If I don't think this is true, but I don't think the front office was like, all right, if we lose against the Wizards on Saturday night, it's time. We're pulling the plug. I don't think that was the case. I don't think they thought that way. But I do think if they lost that game, it would have been so bad that they would have almost been like, oh fuck, this is horrible, man. We're 2-8. We've lost to the Wizards twice. Like, holy shit. Milwaukee tonight, that's a tough game. It's definitely winnable, though, I would say. Phoenix on Wednesday. Phoenix has been pretty good this year. Definitely winnable. Clippers on Friday, definitely winnable. Sunday, Trailblazers, definitely winnable. I mean, every team I just mentioned has been better than you this year, but that's a low bar. And the crazy shit for me is even if you won all those games, you're 7-7. Like, think about that, man. It's not in their best interest to just be solid. Yeah, but if Nico Harrison's around, it's in his best interest. We've just never, I mean, this is crazy. We've never seen anything like this. We've never seen anything like this where the fan base is so upset. I'm scrolling through a timeline. Kirk tweeted out, also the Mavs hired a new head of communications and it simply cannot be a coincidence. It is. It is a coincidence. They've been working on this since before the season started. So it is a coincidence. How bad do you think the crowd will be today? I mean, if they're getting blown out. Then my next question would be, all right, so I'm a consultant for the team, right? We've done it. We've ripped the Band-Aid off. We've fired Nico. What do we do next in terms of what's our messaging? What's our PR stance? So I would actually go against the grain and say, I don't think we make any I don't think as an organization you should make any big statements. I don't think you should. I don't think it's a good look because at a certain point you got to realize we do have like a team. We have a locker room. We have players in there. I don't think you could come out and be like, yeah, sorry, we fucked up, guys. This team is shit. Like we messed up. So yeah, just, hey, we did it. We ripped the Band-Aid off. That's a public admission of defeat right then and there. Yeah, we love our fans. Something along those lines. Yeah, make a very basic PR statement that's like, hey, we understand y'all's frustration. We're going to do everything we can to put the best product, the best team possible around you guys. And that should be that. When was the last time you were hyped up to watch the Mavs play? I mean, I was hyped up to watch the opening games. First few games of the season. I mean, losing game 2 of the year to Washington was like, oh, Jesus Christ. It's going to be one of these years, huh? They won't publicly say it, but man will post an insane behind-the-scenes article from people in the org. I mean, we've already gotten those. You know, like we've already gotten these. We got them last year. Getting Dirk back, yeah, in some way. Firing Nico remove bad karma from the franchise. Does Dark being with Prime mean he really can't come back? I don't know. I'm sure. I don't know how that works. I mean, I think he could still be around. He does not want to be in the front office. Tim with the $2. How much worse would it be if the Lakers win the title? Way worse. Definitely way worse. They ain't winning the title, though. But definitely way worse. At least not this year. So this right here. I still have Nico's name muted. Does that mean I'll get the notification when it happens? Cato reports that Patrick Dumont held conversations with Bob Myers over the summer. However, Myers has since joined ownership group of the 76ers. He said Dumont and Mavs ownership are preparing contingency plans for if they have to fire Nico Harrison during the season. So you guys get what I was saying earlier? If this is even something that's on your brain, and I guess you could make the argument like, well, you always need to have contingency plans. Like, dude, having conversations with a guy like Bob Myers and then like having contingency plans like this, you've already made up your minds, right? Like you've already, at this point in time, to me, that means you've already made up your mind. My thing is like, what are we waiting on? Are you waiting for like a really bad loss? Are you waiting to see like they were praying they'd be good and the fans would forget the Nico hate? Yeah, that's what they were hoping for. It's like when you start to think you may want to break up. You probably should have broken up 2 months ago. Yeah, you're going to couples counseling. You bought a dog. Now maybe you're discussing the possibility of going an open relationship. It's time to end it. Colby with the 5. Feels awkward for Clay and Kyrie as they join the Mavs, thinking Luka would be here for the long haul. Well, to be fair, Kyrie signed an extension this summer. So Ay. Had a baby hoping to fix it. That's right. Do you think Nico has animosity with Flag for not distracting the fans enough? No. If anything, Nico or Flag at least bought some time. But I mean, dude, having to wheel out fucking stairs so you can have a quick exit from games, that's the end. It's over. What are we fighting back against at this point? Like, hey, all right, I'm in a consulting group, right? We're doing this again. I'm in a consulting group with the fans, with the franchise. I'm going into a meeting. Hey, so I just heard Nico has a fucking crack staff that's wheeling out a staircase every game in case he needs to exit the stadium in a timely fashion. It's over. Pull the plug. This is done. This is done, man. Kill it. So my question is, all right, if you thought maybe Bob Myers is somebody we'd want, what is his availability actually? I know he's signed somewhere, but he's signed with a group, right? He's not like necessarily. Yeah, he's in charge of a group that consults. Consult with teams more than like being in charge of teams, correct? Your stream is being promoted as a featured stream on YouTube. Damn right. If you guys haven't liked the stream yet, make sure you do so. Masai Ujiri? I don't know about that. I'm not sure about that. Unless, because I feel like Masai always had kind of big dreams of attracting people to Toronto. This Mavs team is what he would have built. Yeah. I've seen people say bring Mark Cuban back as an interim. Dude, I'm not gonna lie to you. If they brought Mark Cuban back as an interim, I think I could squeeze it. I actually, honest to God, through a campaign of emailing and DMing, I think I could weasel my way in. And I'm not even trolling. I actually think I could weasel my way into some sort of a role. Even if it's small. I'm being dead serious. I really do think I could weasel my way in there somehow. Carve out a little role. There is no way in hell that they would bring Cuban back. No, I mean, that, can you imagine? That would be fucking crazy. I've seen people say that they should bring, like, just in the meantime, bring Cuban back as an interim GM. Would you give up YouTube for that? It depends on what they would pay me. Maybe. Put your 2K sim stream on the resume. I should. I would love to know. I need to know more. How deep are the contingency plans? That's what I want to know. Are we talking like, yeah, we've thought about it. We've had a couple ideas. We've kicked around some things. Or is it like, hey, we've had closed doors, back alley meetings with some potential GM guys, and we've discussed what deals would look like. We've discussed this all behind the scenes. Just to see. They're going to sign Calvin Booth. Dude, they could sign John Wilkes Booth for all I care. Like, that's kind of where I'm at. Can you imagine Calvin Booth? Make the GM roll into a committee. It's both DLLS and Locked On in the committee. You know I'd take that over. You know I'd come in and plant my flag immediately. No pun intended. Jordan with the 199. Luka demands a trade after Mavs Nico fired. No, that won't happen. That would be sick, though. Who do you think to hire? I have no idea. I have no clue. I genuinely have no idea. You're giving this ownership group too much credit. This is a dysfunctional franchise now. There are no backup plans. No, I'm very scared about what this would look like, 100%. Now, what I will say, though, is, to be fair, we've never really seen this. And hey, look. Gina Miller's a respected person in Dallas media sphere. Rick Welch is one of the most respected in the industry. So they have done right by those two things. I would say that. And hey, look, you don't want your owner to be Matt Ishbia. Anybody with a brain who has been around basketball at all told you the moment Matt Ishbia came in there and just started shooting from the hip, oh, this is going to be a fucking fiasco. We've seen this play out a million times. This is going to be a fiasco. Right? Welts isn't respected? Yes, he is. What? Come on. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Just because he might have said some things you might not agree with, he is absolutely respected. So Matt Ishbia shooting from the hip, you don't want an owner like that. And I mean, Cuban had to learn that the hard way early on as well. Yvonne with the $5. You think the new GM is going into an easy spot where everyone is happy? It's not just Nico, or is it a hostile environment? Fan wise, yeah, you're gonna be beloved immediately just because of the fact you're not Nico Harrison. But in terms of your actual job in front of you, you have a lot. You have a lot. No, Rick Welts had zero say in the trade. So where I was going with that Matt Ishbia thing, the owners are so hands off on personnel decisions that they let Nico Harrison trade Luka Doncic. Now, ginormous fuck up on their end. Huge. And I think a big reason for that fuck up is the fact that I don't think they know much about basketball in the NBA. I really don't. Don't think they know much at all. So because of that, they want to be a little hands off, and they want to let, Nico Harrison, Cuban vouched. He's a respected guy. Up until that trade, let's just be honest, right? We can revision history all we want now. But up until that trade, his approval rating was very high. His approval rating was very high. Right, let's just be clear. And I hate doing the thing where now we're going back. It's like, well, all the good moves were Dennis Lindsey. Man, we don't fucking know that. We don't know that. We can't sit here and say, hey, all of the bad moves were Nico, all of the good moves were not Nico. We don't know that. That's not fair, and that's just I saw a Reddit post that was like 10 horrible mistakes Nico made, and it was like, number one, trading Luka, and then it was all these other things. It was like, dude, you can just end it at one. You can just end it at one, okay? We don't need to go back and do all this. Well, actually, the Chris Dabb thing is like, man, shut the fuck up. We all hated his ass. All right, I'm sorry. I'll always push back on the KP thing. We hated his ass. I was so excited when he got traded for Davis Bertans and Spencer Dinwiddie. He couldn't wait for him to get the fuck off the team, okay? Seriously. Could not wait for him to get the fuck off the team. Because KP was soft as shit, never played, and was pouting like a little bitch when he played. That's the truth. What happened in that 2021 series against the Clippers was a tragedy. That was he should not have even made it past the summer on this team. Seriously, he should not have even lasted that offseason. That was horrible. We know Gaff and PJ were Lindsay. Do we know that for certain? Brunson, letting Brunson walk was bad for sure. That was a Donnie Nelson ultimate fuck up, right? But yes, they did fuck up not bringing Brunson back. But I'll be real with you. Revision history. GMs don't get don't get this grace. If you messed up, you messed up. That's your job. You're gonna get fired. But to me, the Brunson thing was at least kind of understandable in the moment. He wanted Kuzma, though. Kuzma's one of these weird NBA guys, and I do feel AD's like this. So I do feel like you could get a legitimate haul for Anthony Davis, where I think the league thinks so much differently of this player than fans do. Like, it's clear that the league just thinks differently of Kyle Kuzma than fans do. I think it's his size, his versatility, all of this stuff. So other teams, I think, see that and they're like, yeah, we want that. I think AD's kind of similar. Yvonne with the $2. Imagine we had Kuzma right now instead of Gaff and PJ. Yeah, that would be pretty bad. He's coming off the bench. Yeah, but he's been big for the Bucks, and they just traded like a decent amount for him, considering what the Bucks had to trade. Do you think Cooper was the wrong choice? Hey, can't fathom how stupid of a question that is. And I apologize to you for saying that. Can't fathom how stupid of a question that is. But I'm wondering why I haven't gotten any VJ Edgecombe questions like that lately. And is it due to the fact that he's been horrible over the last 5 games? And look, he's a rookie. This shit happens. Like, I'm not VJ Edgecombe is going to be an incredible player in the NBA. He's going to be fantastic. But I'm not seeing these questions anymore. And I'm honestly wondering if it's because, hey, doing a 5-game sample size for a rookie is the dumbest shit you can do, maybe. And is that possibly it? You know, were we maybe a little too quick? Just a tiny bit? Just a tiny bit? Were we just a little too fast to rush into things? Yeah, true. Why stop there? Why should we have drafted? I mean, Cedric Howard shooting what, 60% from 3? Should we have drafted him number 1 overall? Like, why is no one talking about that? VJ's def rookie of the year? I would not say that. I think you could definitely make an argument that we're seeing probably the worst stretch of basketball we'll see from Coop this year. Like, this could be the worst. Would it be surprising at all if this was the worst 10-game stretch of Coop's rookie season? Would it be that crazy? 14 points, 6.5 rebounds, 3 assists, nearly 2 stocks a game. I actually do think that he's probably still going to win Rookie of the Year. Oh, it could be Khan, actually. Khan has been crazy. Weak competition for Coop. So far this season, Cooper Flag has been guarded by Herb Jones, Asar Thompson, Amin Thompson, Lou Dort, Mavs Moneyball made some trade ideas for AD. One of them is AD for Kobe White. What do you think of that? Kobe White and what? Like, I'm not trading AD for scraps. Weak competition for Rookie of the Year. Field is weak. No. This Rookie of the Year class so far is pretty stacked. 80 for Shangoon. The Rockets tell you to go fuck yourself. Some random with the 10. Sup? I don't think Nico can make unbiased decision whether to go for it or start thinking for the future. He went all in. I don't trust him to build around Coop because he bet all winning it out. Yeah. No. You're not doing a rebuild with Nico Harrison. You're not rebuilding with Nico Harrison in charge. Would you do AD for KP Rizage share and 2 firsts? AD for KP Ricochet and 2 firsts? Do the Hawks do that? I could see an AD for Trae Young. I could see an AD for Trae Young and maybe some other stuff. Absolutely. No. It would not be AD and the Mavs throwing in a pick for Trae Young. No. Trae and Kyrie. Yeah. I'm thinking in this scenario. Ugh. Then you're paying Trae. Ugh. I don't know. Start random with the 5. It's not only about you can't rebuild with Nico. It's more like you can't trust Nico to make an unbiased decision whether it's best to go for it or not. Yeah. I mean, I'm just telling you what's going to happen is they're not going to rebuild with Nico Harrison. There's no world in which Nico Harrison is captaining a rebuild. He will be fired before then. AD for Ja, who says no? I mean, I actually think Memphis does. I think you phone Chicago and get Buzelis, White, plus a bunch of picks. I think Chicago could be talked into it. I don't think you're getting Buzelis, though. You're definitely not getting Dylan Harper. Detroit, I think you could maybe talk. I think maybe there's a pathway for a deal with Detroit. I think there could be a pathway for Philly. You'd have to be taking back some dog shit contracts. Random with the 2, 80 for Ja. Now Grizz have 2 5s. You don't want to be 5s. I just don't think the Grizzlies would trade Ja for AD. Asar and Dern for AD. That's not happening. No, you could not get Asar. At least I'd be very surprised. I don't know. Well, wait. If Nico Harrison does get traded, then we can really dive into AD trades. But for the time being, AD for Castle is selling Hawks 2026 pick. Doubt it. Doubt it. Oh man. All I'm asking is if you guys are gonna do it somewhat soon, please don't do it when I'm gone. Please. Let me be here. Please don't do it in a couple weeks whenever I'm in Europe. Whatever you do. Let it happen now or within the next couple weeks. Yes, I want the numbers. I want to be able to react to it. Although I will say, if Nico Harrison gets fired while I'm in Europe, I will go live. I don't give a fuck. I'll figure it out. No, I'm not going to go off the grid. Colby with the $2 before he leaves. Nico sends Coop for Marcus Smart. So my thing is I'm not even totally convinced the front office would even let him do something, or the ownership group. I kind of think that's where we're at. Yvonne with the $5. If you let him, Nico will trade Cooper and our picks for Embiid because AD wants to play with the center and they will win now. Paul with the $2. It will happen when you're eating a French pastry, and I'll go live with that French bistro. So like, understand what I'm saying. I'm personally of the belief, and this is no inside information or anything. It's just, I just assume this is probably it. I don't think the ownership group is like letting Nico be gung-ho with trades. And so when you're at that point, why aren't we just ripping Band-Aids off? Why aren't we just ripping them off? You know what I'm saying? I want to fire it as well, but in my opinion, this start has more to do with injuries and coaching staff than Nico. It has everything to do with injuries. That doesn't matter. What matters here is the vibes are so uncontrollably bad that you almost have to do this. That's where it's at. Random with the 10. Nico can trade AD. That's admitting, can't trade AD. That's admitting he was wrong at the point. He might as well resign. I don't see a future where Nico stays. Come London from Paris, 1 hour flight and cheap. I'll let you use my setup to stream. I will be in London for a few days. Yeah, no. I agree. They're not doing a rebuild with Nico. They're not doing a rebuild. Right, like to kill the vibes more, like it'd be one thing if you started the season hot, had a few, rattled off some wins, looked good, and then AD got hurt for a week or two. Then, it'd be frustrating and people would be like, oh, look, you traded away AD for, you traded away Luka because you were worried about injuries for a guy who got injured. Like that would still happen, but at least you could say, well, yeah, but look at how we played before he got hurt. Like, we're just letting him get healthy and we're going to be fine. You could explain that away. Dude, the team looked like utter dog diarrhea when AD was out there, and then he gets hurt immediately. So, like, you've already failed the test right away. 3-7's like that's a difficult thing to overcome. That's a difficult thing to overcome. Some random at the 5. What days are you in London? Want tickets for a football match? It has to be Tottenham, though. I don't know the full days. I will say this, I have family there. Since we're only there a couple days, like, I don't have much free time. I just saw the most insane picture of all time. But we did kind of talk about maybe going to a football match. Is Tottenham home that weekend? I think Tottenham's in Fulham. Oh, no, they are at Tottenham. I know Arsenal plays at home, I'm pretty sure, because I was looking at that. Oh, Arsenal plays Chelsea that day, or that weekend. I did look at those tickets. Way too expensive for me. But that would be sick, though. That would be sick. They're 8-6 when AD plays. They are dreadful when he doesn't play. 8-6 isn't good enough. AD to Rockets for Fred, Steven Adams, and Doe. Our other salary plus Phoenix 2027 pick and Dallas 29 picks. Help tanks this year. Compete this year and have future assets. I get what you're saying in theory. That trade sounds more like a Kyrie trade. I don't think why would the Rockets want AD? He makes even less sense on that team. True or false, 2024 was the most entertaining team to ever play basketball together. Most entertaining team ever? Probably false. 34-year-old Kyrie post ACL tear won't even get you a late first. I don't know. I could see Houston just only because I think a team could see Kyrie and be like, we have the assets to like overpay for something like this. And we think we don't need Kyrie to come in here and be the best player on the team. We don't need Kyrie to come in here and even be the second best player on the team, really. But we feel as though Kyrie could actually make us the best team in the league. And you know what? Houston could be right if that's true. Like if Kyrie comes back and is 80% of who he was and he's on that Houston team, that's a good fucking team. I think Kyrie would actually have a market. Like a legitimately kind of robust one. Maybe nothing crazy. Dylan Harper, the Spurs would never do that in a million years. Go back 9 months and the Mavs gave up Kyrie instead of Luka. What do you think the outlook is? So it's Luka and AD? Well, first and foremost, the Lakers don't do that. But okay, let's just say they do in this scenario. Yeah, that would be a highway robbery for Dallas, I would have to say. You traded like a top 20-ish player for around a top 10 player. Do you want Kyrie to be traded in a scenario where AD gets traded? Do I want it? No, not really. Would I do it if you wanted to, though? Yeah, absolutely. Hey. Kyrie's definitely tradable. We'll see what comes from this. The Gina Miller thing is actually a huge deal. Looking at her background, she obviously gets PR, but is also experienced in front-facing comms. Again, I said this at the top of the stream. I don't know if you're here. I asked around, and this was in the works for months. So I don't think this is a precursor to anything specifically. But it does kind of continue this trend that I was just talking about that is somewhat encouraging if you're going to go this route. Gina Miller is a very well-respected person in Dallas media. Rick Welts, very well-respected person across the league. Like, they went out and got two of the better people at their jobs whenever they needed it. Does that part at least does give me some hope that, okay, they know that they need serious people in here. AD for all 5 Brooklyn rookies. Would you guys do that? I'm trying to think, actually, if I would do that. AD. Well, they have Igor Diemen playing a fucking 3-and-D role. He's not their point guard. Has Traore played at all yet? I'll actually plant my flag in the few games I have watched. I think what's his name? Safar? That's not his name. What's the Israeli guard's name? Ran with the 5. Kai, he's my favorite player ever to watch. I would love to see them two pair up again. Also, Kai contract is not easy to trade. 33 years old, $40 million. I actually think that's pretty easy to trade. Oh, Ben Saraf. I'll plant my flag right now. No. I'll play my flag right now on Ben Seraph. No. I don't think he's an NBA guy. Too slow. Drake Powell's looked good, though. He was bombing it the other night. Double entendre. The Greek player doing rounds on X. Oh, you mean the Luka clone? You mean the Luka clone? London Hoops with a 199. Rainy, but I recommend Edinburgh. It's my favorite UK city, Edinburgh. I actually think I've been there. No, I haven't. No, I haven't. I'm worried, man, because it's 40. It's going to be in like the low 40s as a high in London and in Paris. I'm having to buy like a whole new wardrobe. I don't have like functional cold weather clothes. I have some, you know. So I've never been to Europe. Can I go with you? Yeah, sure. You can squeeze into my suitcase. I'll take you on the plane. All right, just real quickly here. I've got a ramble video that's going up here in a bit, talking about some of the games. Cade Cunningham's so fucking good. It's unbelievable how good Cade Cunningham is. So incredibly good. So incredibly good. How much do the Mavs pay you under the table? Hashtag release a slightly list. What are the chances I get some merch? I don't have any merch right now. I am working on a few things. My capitalist brain turned on. And I kind of want to I want to have something lined up for when Nico inevitably gets canned. Yeah, I mean Dallas's finest, but we'll call it Arlington's finest. Dallas's finest, but we'll say Arlington's finest. Why exactly are you coming to Europe during the worst part of winter? Not cold enough to snow, but still cold and wet. Well, I don't have like it was just the time I went. It was just it was just how it lined up, man. I tried hard to get much in EU. Shopify Rob on them deliveries. It's not Shopify necessarily. I think it's I just think that's how much it costs. Like Shopify just uses USPS prices or whatever prices. And I feel bad. I feel bad on the merch stuff for international shipping, but I don't know really what else to do. I know shipping's insane. I don't know what else to do. What is going on in the chat? Christian Warrior. Everything all right, man? I'm blowing the whistle. Donald Trump is a Rothschild and Erica Kirk is too. JD is the heir to the Rothschild Vance banking dynasty. I'm going to expose the truth to the world soon. Already have thousands of K-switches engaged in half a folk already knows. Can I get in on that? Any way I can get in on the banking dynasty? Anyways, guys, the Thunder are going to win 70 games, win the finals. So does it really matter in the end? Probably winning this year. I would say almost certainly winning this year. And then I would say probably winning next year too. I think we probably get a three-peat. Probably get a repeat if I had to guess. Just too good. We did think that about the Celtics. True. The Celtics weren't the second youngest team to ever win. We said that for half a decade. None of those teams were the second youngest team to ever win. Yeah, I'll be live tonight. That's fine. Believe what you guys want to believe. That's okay. Just whatever stat you need. So I'm rating with the two. SGA plus their second string win it. Yeah, I mean it's been SGA, no J-Dub, and they're still comfortably the best team in the league. Who would you rather be right now going forward, Mavs or Celtics? If I got to be the GM, a blank slate, I think I'd rather be the Mavs. You will 1 hour flight away from the one and only Kelly Olynyk guy, Rotterdam. Can I ask why your name on playback is Kevin Olynyk guy? Why is it Kelly Olynyk guy here, Kevin Olynyk guy on playback? Paul to $2. When in Europe, try a Fanta Cases soda. What does it taste like? Different guys, oddly enough. Oh, that is odd. Okay. Interesting. Yes, I'm going to be in Paris. All right, folks, I'm gonna check out. I got to make a lunch, and guess what I'm having for lunch? A fruit bowl and a peanut butter jelly sandwich. I'm a fucking grown ass man eating that, and And you want to know something? I don't give a shit. Tatum is more valuable than whatever the Mavs have and more picks plus more assets. I think I'd rather just have Cooper Flag though. So in my scenario, if I'm just taking over blank slate, like I would trade AD. I would just tank, have Cooper Flag, have whatever young guy we get in the draft this year. I'm hungry. Okay, Luca. Jay with the 199 flying to Sydney with a 9-month-old. Wish me luck. Oof. What is that? Is that a 20-hour flight? How long is that flight? Like 15 hours? You are live with the Lakers game? I mean, I'll be live around there. 15 to 17. Jesus. I do want to record some stuff whenever I'm in Europe. The only problem is I'm so bad about vlogging or whatever. Anytime I've gotten to Mavs games, I'm like, I want to vlog a little bit. I'm just so bad at it. I just don't do it. You know, I just live in the moment, guys. I'm one of those guys. I guess I have to content pill my brain. I'm not content pilled enough. I guess I just got to go for it. The leg's actually great. I'm the same fucking guy as the playback. I can prove it. No, I don't believe you. Not sure I believe you, man. All right. I'll be on later tonight. I've got a ramble video going up on the Clips channel here in a second. And I've got, we'll be live later tonight. Why do you think Nico's getting fired imminently? Any news besides the other depressing losses? Just reading the writing on the wall, man. That's all. And my belief that I've had where it's just this ownership group has to know that there's a very easy get out of jail free card by firing this guy who's just widely hated by almost everybody. And if things get so bad, you could easily just pull that plug, pull that lever. And that's that. That's that. All right, folks, we will be live in about 5 hours or so. Thank you all for coming in. All of the OGs, you guys know I love you very much. You know, there's a guy in Locked On Mavs that does their post games that looks a lot like you. Locked On Mavs. Is that associated? How closely associated is that with the Locked On Mavs? How long is your flight to Europe? About like 8 hours. It's usually like a 1 or 2 hour flight to like Atlanta or some shit. And then a 6 hour flight to London. Can you shout out Chad Farthouse? Shout out Chad Farthouse. I don't know if it's Farthouse or Farthouse. All right, all the OGs, thank you guys very much. Could spend your Monday anywhere in the world. You decided to spend it here. New subscribers, I promise you guys will not regret it. Donations, members, you guys never have to do that, but it helps you out tremendously. Makes me feel so good. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. I'll talk to you all later. See you all later tonight. Bye.